Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Emily, and in today's video we are going to be doing a July through September reading wrap up because I haven't posted in a long time, pretty much since I got my job in July, and I really want to change that. And I figured why not tell you guys about the books I have read since then. And I think that is about, let me count, 11 books. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first books I read in July were actually the Selection series. I'm not going to go into detail about them because I have a whole reading vlog, so if you want to know my thoughts, you can go watch that, but I'll just tell you my ratings. So if I'm looking down because I have my notes down here. So for the Selection, I rated it a 4.5 out of 5. The Elite was 4.5 out of 5, and the One was 3.75 out of 5, and Happily Ever After was a 3.5. So that's those. I'm going to go into more detail on the rest of the books I read, just not those because, like I said, they had their own separate vlog. So after I read those, I read Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, and I gave it a 4 out of 5. And this is basically about this girl who does fake dating as a side gig, and she is fake dating this guy, and this guy's brother is like in the science field with her and is like in charge of the position, or like some sort of part of like the decision about the job that she wants to get. So that happens, and they like have a whole enemies to lovers type thing, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Personally, I think I liked The Love Hypothesis better just because I feel like this one had more science talk, and I'm not a science girl. I really hate science actually. But also something I didn't like about this one was the spicy scenes were kind of got cringed out because of the like diction she chose to use, like the words. They're just some words I don't really like. But overall the story was really great, and I think Jack was such a simp for learning about diabetes for her because the main character does have diabetes, but I really loved that. But anyways, so yeah, that was a 4 out of 5 stars for me. So on to the next book. Okay, the next book I read was When in Rome by Sarah Adams, and this book is about a pop star named Amelia who on a whim decides to basically play out her favorite movie, which is When in Rome, and she decides to go to Rome, Kentucky, since it's the nearest Rome she can get to. And her car breaks down and she's stranded in this grumpy guy's driveway, and it's really, really good. He has done the whole city girl thing before, and he is not looking forward to dealing with her and doesn't want to deal with her. But along the way, Amelia starts to find herself, and she fixes her relationships with other people, and it's just a really good book. It's kind of like Grumpy Sunshine, but this book had me smiling like an idiot. Like, it just, oh my gosh, I was so disappointed because the tension in this book had me in a chokehold, and when it came to these spicy scenes, nothing. I was like, are you serious? All that tension for you to give me nothing? No details, no nothing? Like, I'm so used to reading spicy books that this was like, that killed me inside. But anyway, but I still really, really loved it. Although I did feel like the writing, like her writing style was very generic. It wasn't, anything special. But I gave it a 3.75 out of 5. So I really liked it, and plus I'm from, I'm from Kentucky, so I really liked that aspect of it. So obviously after that I read Practice Makes Perfect, and this is the companion novel to The When in Rome, and I didn't write any notes on this one because I haven't filled out my book journal in forever. But I loved this book. I liked it a lot more than When in Rome just because I loved the whole sweet, nice girl virgin versus the whole bad guy bodyguard I love when it's like opposites, and I love like bad boys. But I gave, let's see, what's this one about? She is actually in this one, the guy, his name's Noah, right? Noah, it's his sister, Annie, and it's Amelia's bodyguard, and they kind of like have she needs to learn how to date, so he starts teaching her how to date, and things get a little too complicated and they fall for each other. But I really, really liked it. Once again, tension, but nothing, so that really sucked. I mean, obviously they you know, a lot of tension, no spice. But I gave this one a what did I give this? 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. You can see I tabbed some stuff that I liked, but I just love like the good girl bad guy trope, so I really liked it. Definitely recommend this one. Next, I read Things We Never Got Over. I started the Knock 'Em Out series. This book is about Naomi Witt, and she was getting married and she left her wedding. Total Rachel Green vibes. So she goes, her twin sister, who's like this really messed up girl, calls her and is like, hey, I'm in trouble. So she goes to, where is it? Knock 'Em Out, which is, where's it at? Is it Virginia? I don't know where this is located at. It's called Knock 'Em Out though. But she goes there and finds out that her sister has a kid, and her sister runs off like she tricked Naomi, stole all of her stuff, and ran off and left her with her kid. And everyone in that town thinks that Naomi is her twin sister Tina, and everyone hates Tina. And this guy, who is Knox, shows up and is like, thinks Naomi is Tina, is like, get out of this place. And she's like, you need to like back off, dude. And so he's like, they're really, really mean to each other. It's big enemies to lovers. And with this whole series, it's kind of like romance, but a lot of crime mixed in. So that was definitely interesting. I do think that it was a little long. It definitely could have been shortened down. I think this was I'm not finished with the series. I'm currently reading Things We Left Behind, but I think this was definitely probably my least favorite of the 3. I'm not sure yet, but so far it is. But I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. But yeah, I really, really liked it, and I liked that I could relate to Naomi so much because she has a niece that she's got to take care of, and her niece is like 11 years old, and my nieces just turned 12, but they were 11 at the time of reading this. So I could relate to like that connection, so I really, really enjoyed that. But yeah, gave that one a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Things We Hide from the Light, and this one is Knox's brother's book, and his name is Nash, and it's also Knox's girl best friend, and she moves in next door to him, and he's all like depressed, and she's like the only person that can bring him out of it. But of course there's like that whole, I hate you, leave me alone, and I don't need you, but I do need you, you know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely like this one a lot more. I read this one a lot faster. I really, really liked Nash, and I liked both of their character development. And once again, there was crime in this one as well. I'm pretty sure that's in all of them. It's just like the whole thing. But yeah, really, really enjoyed that. It was a 4 out of 5 stars as well. Next, I read King of Battle and Blood. I have a lot to say about this book just because I actually remember what happened, because this is one of the most recent books I read. But when I first started this book, it had been a while since I've read fantasy, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good, I love it, I'm so happy, because like I read this really fast, okay? I read this in like just a few days. But the spice level, very, very high. But it's about this girl, Iselda, or I don't know how you say her name, but she's a princess, and their kingdom is being taken over by the vampire king Adrian. And he meets her, and he's like, I won't take over your kingdom if you marry me. So she's like, okay. But they've got this weird connection. Like, she's just like, I hate him, but I'm attracted to him. So she marries him, goes to live in his kingdom, and like is so angry at herself for, you know, being attracted to him. And then her people are mad at her for leaving them because they think that she doesn't have a plan or whatever, and that that she left them. But this book, it was just like, looking back, like while reading it, like the first half, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. By the end of it, I was like, this is more smut than plot, and I want a good plot. Like there was no plot. Like, there was a plot, but there was no plot. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't very big, and it's definitely dragged out. So I gave this book a 2 stars, and it was so dragged out that it leads into the second book, which I have a bunch of problems with, considering the fact that I DNF'd it. This one is A Queen of Myth and Monsters. This one, like, I got, oh my gosh, where did I get? I have it marked. I got to page 190. Okay, so I'm like just barely over halfway, and I had to stop because, like, it put me in a slump. I just did not want to pick it up. I did not want to read the story. In this book, she's mad at him. I don't know why she's mad at him. I don't know why anything is happening. The plot is being like drug out so much, and it was just annoying me. And like, literally, I'm not even kidding, every chapter, spice. I was like, girl, that is the plot at this point. Like, there's nothing to it, and I was just so annoyed. So I DNF'd this book. I'm pretty sure this is like the first book I have ever truly DNF'd. Do I have desire to go back to it? Not really, because quite frankly, I don't really care what happens in it, because I don't like it, and I was really disappointed because I was really hoping to like that series. But yeah. Yes, I'm in a different setup because I completely forgot about 2 books that I read because I don't have the physical copies of them. So the first one I read was called The Devil I Don't Know, and it was a mafia romance, and I read it on my phone. I'll insert a picture here. But I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was good, but it was, honestly, I think I would even rate it lower than that now. Maybe 2, because it was so predictable. Like, as soon as it starts, you know what's gonna happen. So basically, it was this girl and this mafia boss, and they're like I can't remember. She's like one mafia family, he's another mafia family, and they have an arranged marriage to like combine forces, and he's really protective over her. There's a lot of spice, and once again, I just feel like that was the plot of the book. Like, what happens is so predictable, and then all that was to it was just the tension and the spice, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then I also read Wish, which is kind of like Percy Jackson meets the Hunger Games. What did I describe this as? Like, meets like Twilight meets all this stuff, because these kids are labeled as delinquents and are sent to this like juvenile camp, like reform thing. Yeah, like meets reform camps. Okay, so they go there, and there's like all these mysteries, people are acting weird, and the main character, starts to like flash out, and like weird stuff's happening. Like, she's like getting angry, and she's not remembering what's happening, and she keeps hurting people, and she's noticing that like she's starting to heal. Like, it's like a vampire. Like, as soon as she gets injured, like, she heals right up. And so she's like, what is going on? You know, I'm just losing my mind. And then she meets this guy, and he like kind of helps her. But yeah, I was definitely like Percy Jackson, like, you know, all these like kids of like the gods and everything, but like they're not that. Like, they're just a bunch of like, I don't even know, like, they just have abilities, they're vampires, all this stuff. But yeah, they go to this camp where they learn about all those things. It's a part of a series, but I didn't read the series. I just read the first one, and I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. It was definitely interesting. It's just, I mean, I'm not eager to pick it back up, but it wasn't bad by any means. But yeah, so I also read those books. Those are all the books I read from July to September. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will definitely be trying to post more. I'm gonna do some reading vlogs. Yeah, but hopefully I can get better at doing these monthly. Although it is kind of hard because I don't read that much. Every month I probably read like 1 or 2 books a month, if that. So, but I have met my reading goal for the year. I'm actually over it, so that's great for me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.